Welcome back to our channel again, everyone. I hope you're ready for another chilling tale because today's story is about a boarding house with rules you absolutely must follow, or you might not make it out alive. Before we start, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and comment below what you would do if you lived in a place with rules like these. Would you follow them exactly, or would you risk breaking one just to see what happens? Alright, let's begin. I moved into Mrs. Whitcomb's boarding house out of desperation. My apartment had been ruined by a flood, and the cheapest places in town all required deposits I couldn't afford. This house, cash only. No references, no questions. When I met her, she didn't greet me warmly. She looked me over from head to toe and said, "You're the one for the attic." She led me inside and the smell hit me first. A strange mix of lemon polish and wet wool. The hallway was long, lined with portraits of people in old-fashioned clothing. Their painted eyes seemed to follow me up the stairs. We climbed 2 flights, then a narrow third into the attic. The room was small, with a slanted ceiling, an oval window looking down onto the street, a single iron bed, and a dresser that leaned slightly to one side. Then she handed me a folded sheet of paper. "These are the house rules," she said. "Follow them, and you'll be fine." The rules 1. Collect your mail from the basket at 6 p.m. sharp. Not earlier, not later. 2. Between 12 and 1, if you meet someone on the stairs, don't look at their face. 3. On Tuesdays, leave a bowl of milk on the 2nd floor landing. 4. Never open the door opposite the bathroom. 5. If something knocks on your closet, knock back 3 times and go to sleep. 6. Keep your attic window cracked open at night. 7. If you hear weeping in the dining room after midnight, join them, or go back to bed. 8. On the 1st of the month, leave a hair under the doormat. 9. If the moth pin is not at my throat, pretend not to notice. I tried to laugh. Is this some kind of joke? Her expression didn't change. Rent and rules are the difference between living here and being here. The first week, at first it wasn't so bad. I followed every rule. At 6 p.m. sharp, I picked up my mail. Most days it was nothing but blank envelopes with "Welcome Attic" typed in faded ink. On Tuesday, I left a bowl of milk on the 2nd floor landing. When I came back the next morning, it was empty, but the bowl was warm, as if someone had held it for a while. The other tenants were strange. A tall man in dark glasses who never spoke. A pale woman with a braid so long it looped around her arms. A boy with a toy train who never looked where he was going, but somehow never ran into anything. One night at 12:02, I stepped out to use the bathroom. On the landing stood a tall figure in a dripping coat, face hidden by a wide-brim hat. Rule number 2 came rushing into my mind. Don't look at their face. I fixed my eyes on their shoulder seam. They stood still. The smell of wet earth clung to the air. When the clock downstairs struck 1, the figure was gone. My shoulder was damp. A few nights later, I heard weeping from the dining room. Rule 7, join them or go back to bed. I stepped inside. The table stretched endlessly into the dark. Candles burned low. At the head sat a figure, skin pale and stretched thin, eyes hidden in shadow. They gestured for me to sit. A plate appeared in front of me, filled with moth wings. Against my better judgment, I ate them. They dissolved on my tongue, leaving a taste like old paper. The figure nodded. Somewhere in the walls, the house let out a long, satisfied sigh. 2 weeks in, I broke one. I came home late from a job interview and grabbed my mail at 6:10. Inside the envelope were 2 words, "You relate." That night, the closet didn't knock politely, it scraped. Slow, dragging scratches like claws on wood. The attic window slammed shut and the air turned heavy. I forced it open, and the entire house seemed to exhale in relief. At 12:27, there was a knock on my attic door. It was the woman with the braid. "Walk me to the door across from the bathroom," she whispered. "That door's locked," I said. She handed me a crypt key. I'm tired of being a rule. When I turned the key, the door opened to cold, salt-scented air. There was no room inside, just endless darkness. She stepped through without looking back. The next morning, the milk bowl was gone. By the third month, I knew the rhythm. A hair under the doormat every first of the month. Answer every knock in threes. Never look at faces between midnight and 1. Always keep the attic window open. And the house seemed to approve. The wood felt warmer under my feet. The stairs creaked less. Sometimes I thought I heard faint humming in the walls, like it was pleased. Last night, I saw something new. I came out of my room and found Mrs. Whitcomb standing there, without her moth pin. "If the moth is not at my throat," she said softly, "pretend not to notice." I didn't. I kept my eyes on her shoulder seam. She smiled faintly. The air in the house seemed to shift, warmer and heavier, as if it was leaning in. From the closet came 3 soft knocks. I knocked back, and for the first time, I realized they weren't saying goodnight. They were saying welcome home. So, could you live in a house with rules like these? Or would you take your chances breaking one? Let me know in the comments. And remember, like this video, subscribe for more Chilling Kayleys every week, and share it with someone who thinks they're brave enough to follow the rules. Until next time, keep your window open.